Hello Blender folks, welcome and welcome back. Well, Blender folks, artists folks, fellows here. We're gonna do a 2D drawing stuff, not 2D animation, nothing like that, but character design, yes, because we're gonna attempt some new stuff in this live streaming of this channel. So I have a character. I want to make 3D character assets, like for selling products, like on Fab, on stuff like that. I never done that. I've already attempted, but wasn't successful. I couldn't complete the projects properly. CG art is too complicated, and I haven't studied on a school or anything like that, so I have to learn by my own on the stupid internet, of course. Like many of us, we can learn a lot, but it takes time without takes time. No, it's complicated, right? Although it's the true possibility, it's very difficult without orientation to get the smart road on the right. It's very easy to learn useless things and stuff like that. So I have this character that you might have seen on the thumbnail. Here I'm in Krita. Usually I use Blender, but we're gonna try to. I know some Krita. I'm not an expert in this, but there are some very cool brushes here. And wait, is my microphone working? Yes, it is. Maybe it's a bit too loud. Okay, so so this is too inkish. We can make some roughs here. Yeah, we can make good sketch. So I'm gonna draw the character once. Maybe not with this. Let's find some better brush here. I might consider myself like still a relatively noob in this in Krita, but I recognize the software is very good. It even has 2D digital animation, for 2D traditional animation, but digitally. So this seems that I might have to. I'm confused with the shortcuts. I've even changed some shortcuts here to appear more like Blender. So there's some very cool stuff, and Grease Pencil, they've been making incredible developments in Grease Pencil in Blender. I'm just warming up here, folks. But turns out it's never... The interface in Blender, it's still not at the point of 2D drawing. It is garbage. Like, great improvements, but no. Still, I can draw there, but then everything is too heavy, right? So it's not... It's still not... It's not comparable yet to drawing in Krita, in my opinion. We can make great sketches there by this time, but there are many aspects that still do not compensate. So but the efforts they've been doing, I've been following on occasions, it's large, so it's really fantastic, but it's still not for me. It's still not enough. So that's why I'm using Krita here. But I could eventually go back there and we can make some tests. Apparently they're the strokes. So I have an older Wacom tablet. I think we can we can do some sketch here. So let's let me the character first. The character. So it's Khorii. It's this name here for now, and she's sort of a wizards witch. I'm not sure yet, so I'm still developing. I think I visually started making the eyes like that, but I think for her she'll be something more like this. And so these would be like the eyeballs, and here we can, so the top lead. So I intend here to do an original character on my style, because I want to, as mentioned, so this is not a character on my cast, but because it's the same style, and this follows up this idea of manga anime. Some characters really tend to look in stylization. They look, it's mannerism on its own style, so it's like the character may end up looking very similar one to another. Unfortunately, only a lot of exploration or really good character designs, in my opinion, designers can really make a style, create their own style with that is cute, maybe like cartoony stuff, cute cartoon stuff, that can still have this diversity. I can have some diversity, but I haven't explored too much. So this is why. So here I'm trying to make a bit more different than what I've made on the yeah. So it's good here. We can also swap, so we can assess the consistency of the. We can do in real life. Just flip the paper against light. Can work against a window. Also works. So I'm gonna study some possibilities. Also, I'm gonna look at. I have some ideas here that I'm gonna share also for the. Hold on, there's the internet. Yeah, so we have, for example, no, this is the playlist. It will be more like here actually. Okay, so I am in Pinterest here, and I have some. Okay, let's start. I haven't completed the body here, but we're gonna get to that soon. So basically, you see I have a few collections. Oh, look at this sketch. Okay, this is just for the strokes, but I really want to get myself more adapted to this tablet and in the computer in Krita or in Grease Pencil in Blender, with Grease Pencil in Blender. Look at this sketch. This is massive. This is a really good sketch. Then okay, so the style that I'm looking for, I'm trying to, let's get it directly what I mean here, folks. I'm gonna okay, so look at this. So this is character Charlie from Has Been Hostel. This is an animation show original, kind of famous now somewhat in the internet, but this is like probably an interpretation, like another artist tried to draw, but very good sketch. Look at this. So my character designs, they are usually not as adaptive to 2D animation. So look at this 2D traditional, cartoony 2D traditional animation. There are some, yeah, it's kind of organic, of course. This resembles what I try to do, but instead of going too much organic, then it tends to stylize in this, let's say, I don't know the schools, but Cartoon Network maybe could be a good idea. You see this arm here, it's mostly straight. Then here, of course, other styles here in this cartoony schools will do this more like angular, but it's almost like that, right? So you have some shapes that are very, very stylized here, sharp angles that occur in not too much sharp angles here, but you get the idea, right? This is very close to this kind of famous, I always forget the name of the artist that one of famous that did Teen Titans, and or some artist follow them his style, yeah, whatever, but doesn't matter. So what I'm looking for is to this is way more organic. This is from, I think it's Alexa Had from Schoolgirls. His sketches, his drawings are fantastic. It's really like a mix of one of the best, I think, cartoon, American cartoon maybe somewhat thing, and anime. He does very, very good stuff, and he has a lot of good character design ideas. This guy's crazy, but there's a lot of other great stuff. So the artist that created this particular show here also very, very incredible in that sense of. So here you see the ideas, right? So you have these very sharp angles. Okay, this is a bit too toonish, right? But there is more realistic proportions, which can at the same time use this kind of curve, angular, sharp, right? So curvy and sharpness, angular, and all that. So this is totally brutal. So this is like, look, of course, these guys of this show, they made this crazy facial expressions that I've been looking for. How to get this as a reference to make mouth expressions, facial expressions for stuff in there. So I'm sort of using some of this, yeah, the same show here, right? So I'm trying to get this structure merged within my style, which relates in relation of proportions, but I just can't do this thing in 2D too much. Like I go, for me, I go too much in the realism, because more like this, right? But yeah, more like this kind of shapes here, you see more. But I really, yeah, more like this too. You see the organic shapes here. So this is massive drawing too, but this also goes in the direction of the, okay. So here what we have, yeah, so this, let's see if we find anything interesting here that might be, okay, a great sketch here, also here, yeah, great poses. Ah, look at that, okay, now just a pose in the sketch, let's see. Now it will be hard to find anything from this massive distribution of things, but I think you get the ideas. We can, oh yeah, this kind of drawing really, because I'm an animator, right? So there's like it's the Chinese painting, right? This is like the origins of cartoon, maybe Chinese painting like this, similar to the rest of paint brush strokes with ink. Okay, anyway, so this is massive reference, but this for posing, but this is not what we need here. So what we need is indeed, okay, let's see anything else. Okay, here are, this will not be, so you see this is more organic, but occasionally there are some shapes that remember the cartoon. So this is more like what I try to do when I draw, and then I try to compose that to translate that into, oh, there's a cool anime, probably this is Japanese, you see this, but anyways, interesting, that remembers a little what I draw sometimes, not with the proportions and the strokes, but something on the eyes, the face. Okay, anyways, let's go back here. This is just a, okay, so let's go back to Krita and let's try to continue this character design of this character. So I have this drawing here in front of me, so we're gonna see which kind of features might be better for her in my style. And so I'm gonna make this character original, but she'll not gonna be part of my regular how do you say, regular cast of characters. So she's like, she'll be for some other, yeah, she'll be a 3D asset basically. So you can, and the cool thing is that this will be able to, so I think there's some splitting of the hair in the middle, not necessarily like this, but yeah, I'm gonna make, let's make more like this maybe. So of course I'm simplifying here, but we're gonna look at some reference. Very hard sometimes to find good hair reference. Let's see what, maybe this needs to go sideways and this in the other direction, but all right, let's try this. Yeah, she's not looking too much like the character in the sketch, but this, remember, this is drawing on computer. It's not that simple compared to drawing in paper, on paper. Okay, then for this part I think I've made something like, yeah, I started with a shape like that, but then what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna, there's some other layer thing of here that is built on top of this. Let's make it some variation from here. which I'm still gonna investigate how this will be built. And then we get from some point, maybe from here, this and then here I'm not totally sure what is this how this will be, right? So maybe you can make this larger. Even, I don't know, maybe shorter. Gonna have to investigate some. Where's the brush here? The brush doesn't use the okay, then okay, now for the body. So the idea then is to make a body. The face might be an exception because I still want the face to look on my style, and I don't want to make something much like, I don't want to copy or try to adapt, like, no, not this, not this. Yeah, I don't want to do the has-been hostile adaptation. It's cool, but it's not my style, so I'm not trying to do that. I think I can achieve because yeah, I can redo this. So maybe I'll be attempting some variations in the face, right? We're gonna see that, but in principle that will be the more like the structures of my own style. So Dorothy and all that. So but I may be able to make some, because I was inspired by, I always loved the idea of making some original stylash, and these eyelashes and this has been also, they have been pushing a bit too far and that's great because that inspired me. Oh, I can do more stuff. I was already pushing, we can in that direction, we can do even more interesting. So let's not let's exaggerate also. So can think of many. If you're interested in the soundtrack, you can look at the video description. I'm still building this electronic music soundtrack, but as just a detail. The playlist. All right, so yeah, this now she's. So I need to make the body. Yeah, about the body. So this is what I think. I need to make my. We'll have some need to. Yeah, we'll need to expand because she's probably be taller in my style. So I want to make the strokes and the character design for the body like more adaptive, like those 2D cartoon for 2D animation. And for this I'll have to adapt the body, and that will come in the rigged model as part of the character design. So the mesh will be how do you, I think it can just crop, augment the cropping maybe. No, it's not like that. No, crop is here. Okay. Okay, this works. Okay, let's go back. So I'll have to refrain myself from doing this too organic. So here is where I would probably want some reference. So basically I need to try to make the character design with less shapes. And then I'm still not sure about the mesh topology, how I'm gonna do it, if I'll use my typical ones, or if the last that I've achieved, or if I'm gonna push the mesh topology in the direction of the of something that like is more simplified. So you see, just a chessboard, like you know. I think I want still the good topology, even though the shapes will be more stylized. So you see, I'm already trying to make, though, in this drawing, these shapes, because I believe that that will be the probably 2D animators, 3D artists already doing this in maybe Pixar's already focusing that. I never really analyzed too much because the sensation is that but my idea indeed is to try to get this cartoony aspect into 3D art directly on the model. So so this will be very hard. It's already very hard for me in 2D. And then in 3D I really don't know, because rigging is part of the character design, and then the way the characters deforms, right? It's it must be, those stylization must be taken into account, and they might be very hard to achieve in term. Yeah, so so maybe I'll have to make the character taller, or okay, or not sure, because of the style. It depends. So here she'll be holding a step, which I haven't decided yet what shape would have anyways. So this chair, of course, this is just a pose, right? A regular pose, just for the addressing the basic appeal, right? Appearance of the character. Can we stylize the feet? Like, you know, those cartoons that have they have it's funny, but I think I don't know. I don't. I love the ideas, but for my characters, usually I prefer something that has this bit more realism. Though it's very strange, because it's like you have different levels of, like, for me it's something like that. Let's say you have superheroes, like comics, to anime, manga, right? Usually they are kind of bound together, right? Just differently. They are very realistic, right? Then we have a lower step with going something perhaps like what I do. Maybe Alexa had also, maybe somewhere. I'm not comparing my art style with him, just in terms of quality. I'm just saying that this why also I like what he does. Is there are many other artists like him. Actually, it's just mentioned because it appeared so much in the reference. It's a good reference indeed. I like his. But when I was already doing my art style that was. So and then we have the cartoon that is very stylized, like has been Hotel and all sorts of cartoony stuff like that, Cartoon Network, and then we have maybe something that is ultra cartoonish that that probably I can't do. So I wouldn't like to do. So there's like 3 levels, then you have realism, right? So naturalism drawing. So you have academic drawing. So my thing fits somewhere like here in the middle of very exaggerated cartoons, or not very exaggerated, but very cartoonized thing. Then we have the super exaggerated cartoon, which is far beyond all that. So and so it's in between anime and comics and and the cartoon like has been hotel, and that I'm researching stuff like that, right? So I want to get some stuff of this into my style. Yeah, some stuff of this into my style for 2D and 3D, mostly for 2D style, the rigged models, because I already have too much of this one and too little of this one, unfortunately. Okay, let's how to delete this? I think just get a selection here, and
YouTube Premium é o YouTube sem anúncios e
oh,
acesso
great.
exclusivo a todo o conteúdo VIP. Teste por mês grátis.
All right, so let's see how she looks. She looks a bit too tall, but proportions wise, hey, that's correct. I don't like too much the pose, and there's this conflicting idea of trying to be more less organic and more cartoony. So okay, then what about the she could be an evil, a villain, maybe. Could be interesting. Let's see what we can do about this hair. Yeah, maybe these are too bold, right? They could be. We're gonna make more of this to be certain, but in principle, then about the clothing, there is not. Maybe we'll do another layer here. Great, why don't we have a different color now? Oh, now we have, okay. Now this one is not good. We'll probably have something like that. Or could be a asymmetric cape. Could be interesting. But she has this symmetric hair. We could replace this in our position, right? And then I haven't really this. Yeah, there's some idea of. The colors here are just for differentiation, but Okay, and here I'm not... Okay, certainly some... Exact, we need some... Usually I don't do symmetric characters, but why not this one? For this piece of costume. So you can have many details here that could be interesting. And then need to decide what to do with... Okay, just some ideas. I'm gonna certainly rework on this stuff at some point. How those things are, usually you have something... Yeah, I got it. Okay. So this pattern may be... There's some pattern that may be repeated in everywhere, right? With asymmetry, right? One way has one pattern, one side has one pattern, the other side has another pattern. And then we have some... Or we can have some kind of... asymmetric. Gloves on the other side. Yeah, the fingers might be exposed. Okay. can have more layers of this thing. Maybe. And then as for the hair, which color would have so I need a folder for this. It's like the 3D stylized, yeah. So I need to think which color of her hair is some purple or I'm gonna go for this kind of greenish orange, something like this. It's crazy, but this character is certainly not very natural. Maybe she could have a more pale. About this color for the iris. Yes, maybe. Kinda diabolic or all right. That sounds good enough to begin with. So with this kind of character, let's make some poses now, and probably I'll need some. Can we have a new that is that stays in parallel? No. Okay, this is sad. I'd like to be looking at it, so maybe we need to. So I know how to do this. Yeah, just export as a PNG. Then let's keep always on top. Yeah, just computer complications. Okay, we got this. Now we can expand this. Yeah. ever gonna make. So here is where I can start to explore the aspect of the cartoon. Let's see the proportions of this. Just kind of tall for the no, not too tall. I'm still not sure her size. We can play with that. She can be regular size. Okay. I'm still not satisfied with this brush. They seem very weird here. They are not doing their job properly. Like, I need something that is grainy. I don't know what happened to this crap. Probably yeah, there's too much options here. At this point, I'm better at... Probably I've ended up editing this stuff in a way that... Maybe I destroyed it. I also changed my workspace here, so I can't find anything. I know more or less. Oh, okay. Here, I totally forgot. So we have some sketch. Okay, let's see here. Oh yeah, I was in. I was looking at the wrong. Well, sometime I don't use Krita, so that's why I'm a bit rusty. So we have this different, right, things here. This one is I like, but let's see if there's anything else. No, too inky. This one can be good also, but yeah, let's try this one. Yeah. So this will be very hard to make in Blender actually. We can get some. Okay, why it's not intaking the color? No, it is. I'm just not seeing it. Okay, this should be good. Okay, we don't need this now. Yeah, we need it, but we need it on the side. Okay. So the quick sketch, we can do some exercise. Like, do you know the 1 minute sketch exercise? It's like you calculate. Let's make the 1 minute sketch. I'll show this. This is a fabulous exercise for artists in general, but I think more for the 2D animation, right? Animation drawing. It was technique used by Disney and thing, but here I don't find. Okay, let's get this thing. 1 minute. It starts at 1 minute. During 1 hour, you need to every day, or it's the training, right? Yeah, this is just 1 minute. So I have 1 minute to think. Immediately, I need to start a pose, an entire, not a pose, entire character. I've just had some idea here. Of course, I'm already trained in this, so no wonder that I know how this works. But of course, if I'm rusty, I need to practice, right? My sketches are certainly rusty, right? But my ideas maybe not that rusty. So you see here the pose that I've made. It's like a You got okay, just 2 meters. Okay, so usually I probably the last thing to do is probably the face, because in this very easy to destroy the face in this. Yeah. So it's over. Let's need to do another one. Of course, in this.
Com o YouTube Music Premium, ouça mais
Yeah,
músicas
more.
offline
Sorry.
e em segundo plano. Faça
This
testes
thing will
grátis.
be always in the way. Yeah, we're not gonna be looking at this stuff anymore. Okay, let's go back to the Krita thing. Okay, last time it should be immediate. So as soon as you did, so in the computer here it's very crappy. You need to do this on paper, right? It's better unless, yeah, it need to be ninja. So you get a new piece of paper and you restart, and then I need a complete new pose, right? So eventually, yeah, this pose is kind of easy, so let's make too predictable. So let's try to make it slightly more interesting. $22 minutes. So you see the entire body, of course, there's not, the shapes are not for the character. I'm very rusty. I need to know how this character particularly will. I need to train that particular character and her features, right? And I need a better way to draw, stylize the. I was trying to do the nose, right? All right, next. Oh, you got the idea. Immediate start. Oh, I don't have an idea. No problem. No panic. Just draw. Just start drawing. So eventually, something. Of course, this needs really some. You see, then you eventually you start to draw things that. Start to draw in all sorts of poses unimaginable that you never do otherwise, because just trying to solve problems, and this makes it very where's the thumb here? I think it's on this side. Okay. So the mouth, the nose from below. Oh yeah, so basically you need to be doing this. Okay, just, and eventually you'll get to make more and more shapes of the character that you need to know. You start to draw the entire character. So here is sketching in horrible ways. I'm not even doing the clothing, you see, but if you train enough you can accurately get, also because I'm not familiar with the character design, so it must be a character that you really know how it works. So this is the master technique. I've learned this from Seamus Culhane. It's in his book, the animation from script to screen. This was my mentor by the book, right? So I don't start by the drawing by the face, because drawing by the face, it takes too long, and I can't stylize properly yet. My style, I need to practice this a lot more, especially on those. Okay. It's sad that sometimes we want to finish, but this is why you train. So you start to get everything in order, and then you start to really. So it's not just about training the let's make a twist here, right, on the body towards, yeah, this part here. So here I have plenty of time. Of course, this pose is much easier for me. And yeah, so the stylization here is messed up. So I need to better stylize her. This by sketching a lot. Eventually, this is rounder. Where's the neck here? The neck should be here. I think this shoulder is, the torso is too elongated. Yeah, so I'm using wrong proportions here. So here, this one was very broken, unfortunately. But yeah, also I'm talking, so I'm losing a bit of concentration. But this is just a demonstration also. So this is what we can do. So to make those very interesting poses. So yeah, so it's something about the training of the mind, because you see I have to imagine a pose immediately, and this is how I conceive animation poses, by the way. Every second I have an idea for a pose. You can have it too if you train in this, if you understand or if you want to, if you have the feeling for this kind of approach. So basically this is the natural, it's a way to not just speed up, but as it is written there, is a way to tackle into your creativity, right? And so this is, so it's very easy, right? Imagine if I have time to, so when you start to learn this, to do this fast, it's not easy, but once you learn how to do this by just, so you do like during 1 hour you do this so you pick the character that you know how to draw, right? And you start to try to include, and you start to include cloths. Yeah, you start, well, you try to sketch all you can to draw the best you can, right? In 1 minute, and then you start to reduce this time after you're getting in good shape, right? And so this is the, her eyes are not like that, but I'm stylizing, right? To because I'm still not sure how she works, right? It's kind of funny that drawings that comes out sometimes. So yeah, so even though I'm very rusty, I still can do this, and you see some interesting things can appear here, right? So let's get a look on all that. Okay, you see, so I had this pose in my mind, I had this pose, I had, some might be even hard to read by this one creepy, but there was the idea there, right? So if you are good enough in animation, you don't even need to rotate animation drawing this. You don't even need to rotate. Of course, then after it's good to check what you're doing, but you don't even need to rotate the page in order to draw a character in a very difficult pose, unlikely to. So, right, you see what I mean? You can draw the character from nearly, you feel more comfortable and able to draw the character from any point of view, because you've practiced fast enough, right? By the way, I was not even looking at the model here because I didn't have time for that. I need to full focus here on the paper. Let's get here some, again, the soundtrack seems to have, no, it's not, it didn't stop, it's just, it didn't finish, it's just stopped because of stupid YouTube. Okay, folks. All right, so here we, yeah, I'm not gonna save this because it's saved in the video, right? I don't need those sketches, those are just practice. And so now I have practiced just a little and presented how this is that method. If you want to train, if you like animation drawing, that, or just like sketching, that, try this out. Some artists may struggle with drawing fast. It was not my case because I always thought I drew fast, very fast compared to other colleagues, other friends, other artists. But when I made this exercise, I've just realized, wait, I'm not drawing fast enough. So that's the point, right? Okay, so let's make some sketch on the side here because that will be better, right? And even gonna use another layer. So gonna try to draw her in my style, right? But now not just more. And trying to see how I can make her look maybe a bit more evil or like crossing. Vicious, yeah, not evil, but vicious. Yeah, I always like this. Yeah, so the pointy nose, but maybe more like, not sure if I include this, just maybe this, not sharp but rounded but bigger, right? Yeah, so already here after warming up, I think I've started to have some interesting ideas for yeah, I think I've got the spirit of the character now, yeah.
Celular e Netflix. A hora de maratonar ficou mais gostosa.
Cheers is too.
Às vezes, o trabalho pode ficar extremamente complicado.
Sorry
Por
about
isso,
this.
use a Monday.com, uma
This
plataforma
YouTube is getting worse and worse, right, folks? Also, it's not recommending my videos too much, so one other reason why. Okay, let's go back here. We could use the same pinch-and thing, I don't know. Okay, division in the center. It's like a polygon madness. I don't know what it is exactly. Yeah, it's a piece of hair, but it might have some thing that star shape that it's more hair, but it's like presented. Not sure what kind of thing this can be, but if it's part of the hair or not. But what I know is that from there that these pigtails or this no, not pigtails, this no, it's the other direction, right? Maybe not so spiky ears, although it might counter some ideas. I don't want her to appear like a slender lady like that. I want it to be a bit more cute. This is why I need to control some of these developments here. Maybe this is better lower, yeah. And now these shapes have been yeah, this exactly in front here is not good for the visualization. Yeah, much better. Yeah, much more intense. And here for the back part, we could consider some different tissues that are hanging. Yeah, this can be annoying to draw, but we're doing 3D animation, so we don't care. Yeah, it will also mess up rigging and all that, but okay. Could be different pieces like folding armor, that cloak of yeah, something like that. So this is a character I'm trying to build. So it's an original character, Khorii. Looks, if it's pronounced like that, I'm not sure. So probably a sorceress, a not this side of witch, undecided necromancer. No, this is nothing about Nico of her. Maybe those things in. No, she doesn't have a tail, so no, nothing like that. She's more like a warlock. Is the male of wizard, so or of sorceress maybe. The archetype is the witch, the sorceress, the warlock. It doesn't really matter right now. I'll be thinking maybe she could be some sort of specialized school of something, like enchantress, illusionist, stuff like that, right? Geomancer, necromancer, shadowmancer. I don't know. Start to build anything on top of that. Catmancer. No. Yeah. So now the work would be in Blender would be to make. Although I'm not totally familiar, this is dangerous. Right? Do the model sheet for 3D modeling, right? In Blender, it will be a bit dangerous to start doing that model sheet without more training of the character design, in my opinion. I need to make more sketches about her, explore more possibilities. I don't think it's all clear here. There are many things here that might be unstable yet. But I believe this will work for the development of the main features are more or less set. So I can use my model sheet of Dorothy, which is a template, and from that start to build this other character, right? Yeah, and then that will be a 3D asset that I have to. Yeah, I'm gonna rig it also. Maybe I'll not be able to showcase in real, in streaming all that, right? Probably not. But occasionally maybe I can do some streaming. This character I intend to sell as a product, right? A 3D asset, so with entirely rigged stuff, functional, like so yeah, it's my new big project now for CG art, and that's like I believe, so I've seen some guys, some artists doing crazy rigged models out there, and that inspired me to try. Right, I'm not sure this is a very good market for that, but certainly this product here should be original, and it is in my style, but it is not one character that it's on my cast, so I don't care too much on, yeah, can model it in 3D and that's it, and offer that. So folks, have any questions, any idea? So I think this is interesting content, but where's the, okay, so I'm gonna build this in following days. I'm gonna start from scratch. This character should take like yeah, it would depend. It's from scratch, right? But I can reuse some templates. I'll have to take care about the shapes so them to be more stylized than my current ones. Although the mesh topology, I can use the last version. I think that's fine. The topology might not imply cause too much problems to the. It should also help rigging anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna use the latest version of my mesh topology, and the shapes that I have to adapt, the scales of everything, so it will be more yeah, the model sheet and the adaptive of the 3D shapes, and then the face will take a while, the hair and the clothing. So yeah, so maybe when it comes to the hair or the face or the cloth, then that will be a good content to share here, folks. Once again, yeah. So this might take some few days until I reach that point, but I think now we're sort of ready to get the my hands dirty in a good sense. That's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Hope that was inspiring. Take care and happy artwork making. So see you. Have a nice week.